Word on the streets is that President Trump's going to issue gold-backed treasuries. So please don't make the mistake. We're not talking about a gold-backed system. It's not, the dollar being backed by gold. So there's an argument that President Trump may issue U.S. Treasury bonds that are backed by gold. So it would work like this. The government asks you to lend them money, let's just say $4,000, and then they'll pay you back 1 ounce of gold in 30 years and in physical gold. So it would be a zero coupon convertible to gold and maturity. Okay, so why would the government do this? It's because they would be able to raise desperately needed money right now, and they wouldn't have to pay interest because they're going to pay you gold upon maturity. So this idea of gold-backed treasuries is coming from Judy Shelton. So Judy Shelton was Trump's economic advisor during his first term. So Shelton was actually nominated to the Federal Reserve, but she was rejected by Congress by a vote of 47-50 in the Senate in 2020. So the Senate rejected Shelton because she was an advocate of gold, which takes away power from the Federal Reserve. Because the Federal Reserve doesn't like gold because they can't print gold. Now, here's the second scenario involving gold. So the US government holds 261 million troy ounces of gold. So on the books, it's officially valued at $42.22 a troy ounce. But the market value of gold right now is above $3,400 a troy ounce. So you could think of it as like an unrealized gain. So if Trump revalues gold to market value or even a higher price, which he can, then the Federal Reserve is required to print money, the difference, and then give it to the US Treasury. Now, a good question is this far-fetched? This whole idea. Well, I'll tell you this. The US government has already done this before. And gold revaluation does not require congressional approval. So President Trump can do this literally whenever he wants. So word on the streets is that it would be most logical to revalue gold at $15,000 a troy ounce. So that would give the government $4 trillion just free and clear. So that's $4 trillion less of US Treasury bonds that they would need to sell. And Trump, he could use that money to fuel his initiatives. And he could even use some of that money to pay down the national debt, claiming that he delivered on his campaign promise. So whatever he's going to do with gold, people are expecting him to go really big next year. So our country's 250th year anniversary is going to be on July 4th, 2026. A lot of people are expecting something to happen, during that time. Now, I just want to bring this to your attention. So this debt crisis, it threatens us with higher interest rates, and that creates a major fiscal challenge for the US government, right? But here's another very important aspect. So our country is trying to bring manufacturing back home, which is, that's another very important initiative of President Trump. But the problem is that we cannot rebuild our manufacturing sector in the US if interest rates are high. So if you want to build factories, equipment, infrastructure, it's going to require financing, and it's not feasible with higher interest rates. So let me know if you think President Trump's plan is going to work to tackle the debt crisis.